Welcome to another NCE Revision Biology. Today we will focus on circulatory system. By the end of this video, you should be able to state that the human circulatory system consists of blood, heart, and blood vessels. Show an awareness that the heart is a pumping organ distributing blood throughout the body. Compare the structures of different blood vessels. Relate the functions of different blood vessels to their structures. Define a pulse and locate it. And investigate the effect of physical activity on the pulse rate. The average human beats about 100,000 times per day, pumping around 2,000 gallons of blood through the body. The heart is approximately the size of a closed fist. Despite its relatively small size, it's an incredibly powerful organ. If you were to connect all of the blood vessels and stretch them out, in an average adult's body, they would span around 60,000 miles. That's more than twice the Earth's circumference. Blood is called the life-saving liquid. It plays a critical role in transporting oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and waste products throughout the body. It's essentially the body's transportation system, keeping everything functioning properly. Color variations in blood. Blood isn't always red. It can vary in color depending on its oxygen content. Oxygen-rich blood is bright in color, while oxygen-poor blood can appear darker and sometimes even bluish when seen through the skin. Let's have a close look at the veins. As you can see, they have different layers. You need to be able to recognize them, and you will see the same ones in arteries, however, of different thicknesses. Blood pressure in veins is much lower than the blood pressure in arteries. Blood flows more slowly and smoothly in veins. Hence, the walls of the veins need not be as thick and muscular as those in arteries of the same size. Veins also contain less elastic tissue. Instead, most veins have internal valves along their length to prevent backflow of blood. Valves are infolds of the inner walls shaped like half moons, hence called semilunar valves. The movement of blood along the veins is assisted by the action of skeletal muscles on the veins. Exercising the muscles increases the pressure exerted on the veins and moves the blood along more quickly. Let's compare the structures with the arteries. Arteries are blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart. They need to be able to withstand immense pressure. This is why you will see that the lumen is very small and it has very thick elastic muscle layers. You need to be able to recognize all of those features. And when describing the role of arteries, you also need to mention that blood passes with very high pressure. The contraction and relaxation of muscles in arterial walls will bring out constriction and dilation of the artery. When an artery constricts, its lumen becomes narrower, less blood flows through it per unit time. When an artery dilates, the lumen becomes wider, more blood flows through it per unit time. Most arteries carry oxygenated blood except the pulmonary artery. When we're looking at the blood vessels in your syllabus, you need to be able to recognize blood vessels under a microscope. It's very easy for you to be able to recognize that this is a vein and this one is an artery just based on the shape. But what you really need to state is that the lumen sizes are different. The thickness of the elastic muscle layer is thicker in arteries, and the outer walls as well is thicker compared to the veins. The regular movement of your blood through your body that is caused by the beating of your heart and that can be felt by touching certain parts of your body is called a pulse. You can measure your pulse rate anywhere an artery comes close to the skin, such as in your wrist or neck, temple area, groin, behind the knee, or on top of your foot. If you want to investigate the effect of exercise on pulse rate, do this little task. Measure your pulse rate while you are in a resting state for 1 minute. Then run really fast for 5 minutes. Come back and now measure your pulse. You should see that your pulse rate has increased after exercise. Capillaries. Capillaries are microscopic blood vessels that are found between cells of almost all tissues. Here you have cells that make up tissues, And here you have a capillary, where there is exchange of material happening between the tissues and the blood. They have walls made up of only a single layer of greatly flattened cells called the endothelium. The endothelium is partially permeable, enabling certain substances to diffuse quickly through the capillary walls. Capillaries branch repeatedly. The numerous branches provide a large surface area for the exchange of substances between the blood and the tissue cells. The flow of blood is slowed down, giving more time for exchange of substances. You need to remember that the exchange of materials can only happen through capillaries. The veins and the arteries are only going to transport the blood. We have reached the end of this video. If you have any question pertaining to the concepts addressed, please feel free to comment below.